welcome Sarah Templeton, who's joined us by video conference, I believe from Dunedin.
That's right, in Dunedin, where it's actually just started raining, which people are, I think, quite enjoying after the heat.
Of course, yes. So, well, look, thank you for joining us by conference call, and the staff are going to monitor your emails just so that they can let me know when you want to basically put up your hand. So, thank you.
That'd be great.
Good. So, over to you, Ellie.
Thank you. Hi everyone. We have one Part A in our report today. I'll just let the pictures roll through from our PowerPoint. Again, they reflect a very busy, fun time in the ward, especially with all the amazing weather we've been having. There have been some really positive, strong connections made over the summer break, end of last year, beginning of this year, not only with business in the area but also with obviously staff and community groups. This here is a project that Mitre 10 in the area has come on board with and is providing free plants for these planters. We've also got some sponsorship for our Edible Gardens Awards which are coming up, so Ray White in the area has come on board with that as well. The Edgware Village Beautification Project, what an awesome weekend that was. Everyone worked so hard and it looks fantastic, and these are some of the, I say easy wins because there's not a huge amount of budget that it takes to make a real difference in the community, and this made a big difference. It looks fantastic down there. There's still work to do and we're still talking to the community on that. The Plunkett Rooms, this is much anticipated in the area, and that will be opening officially on the 27th of February, so again we look forward to that as well. And our interagency network end of year celebration went well, and in fact we've had our first meeting of that network already this year, and that's very helpful in the community and informing what's going on. Simply Christmas lunch, that's self-explanatory. And again, the McFarlane Park Community Garden opening. We're a very green ward. Did you know that we've got the highest number of chickens per head of population in the Papanui-Innes ward? I just thought I'd mention that.
Is that just Gary Moore's place?
We've done a census of chickens. The Belfast Community Network Slice of Summer. Lots of fun there and good numbers at that as well. What I would like to talk about a little more for the remaining time today is the CNC draft report, the Downstream Effects Management Plan, which is in draft form, which you are going to receive or not today. And I just wanted to assure the community who have come today, and thank you for coming. I know that people have work and other things that they put to one side to come in and engage. But I think it's really important, and maybe we as a board and as a city council need to understand better the need to regularly communicate with community so that it is really clear what the process is and where we are in that process. At the moment we have a draft report that has been put together by an independent traffic engineer, Dr. Shane Turner. That draft report has gathered a whole lot of information and then puts together some suggestions for what may work in the mitigation of the amount of traffic that we are going to see in the wards. Now, that is being received today, and I want to clarify or explain a little bit around the problem with the word that was in the original recommendation, which was to endorse. Now, when that came to the community board, we felt that it was inappropriate to endorse a plan that is A, draft, and B, is going out for further feedback from the community, because that plan will change. So we were in fact receiving the report, and I think that, well, I know that it's been acknowledged by staff too that that was just the wrong word to use. That's the only reason that word was there, and that's the only reason that word was changed, and that's why it's suggested that word change when you receive the report today. Mark Wilson, one of the petition organisers, said today and quoted some figures, projected figures around the single occupancy from the Northern Corridor coming in from North Canterbury in cars. And I just wanted to address a small part of what this plan is going to look at, or in fact, let me start again. This plan may not look at this, it may be outside the plan's framework, if you like, but the high occupancy vehicle lanes is something that's being looked at in discussions with the Waimakariri District Council. And there are other conversations going on as well about how we can look at mitigating the amount of traffic coming in, which is what we have heard loud and clear from the community. And I have to say, up until about a year and a half ago, personally, my focus was on mitigating the amount of traffic coming in. But when we heard from the community that we need to be looking at trying to reduce the amount of traffic coming in and not putting a band-aid on it when it gets to the other end, was a little bit of an epiphany for me. I don't know about my board members. So it's really important, I think, that I hope the community understands that what we've heard from them has made a real difference in how we are approaching this. And the council can look at projects outside this framework to mitigate the amount of traffic coming in. Park and ride is another thing that we've heard loud and clear from the community as well. We have to look at implementing measures to address the increased number of vehicles coming in, as Mark Wilson and his group said today. This is going to have an impact on our community, a significant impact on our community, and we need to make sure that we mitigate those effects as much as possible. And if that means a combination, as I believe it does, as our board believes it does, at the time the traffic hits the community, as well as when that traffic is leaving the areas it's coming from, then that's what we have to do as part of this plan. Just to go through very quickly what's going to happen with the next processes. If and when the council today receives that report, the report will then go back out to the community for feedback. We are, and I'm not expecting a medal on the chest for this, but we are consulting far, far more than we need to on this project, because it's really important that we have the feedback from the council at every stage. So this now goes back to the community. They will feed back on what Dr. Turner has suggested. That will then inform the final draft for the final report, which will come back to the community board, and it is at that point that we can endorse it or not, and then it comes to the council for their endorsement or not. There will be public feedback and meetings on this between the end of February and the end of March, and then that report will be finalised in April and come to the board then.
Can I ask a question on that? Because in terms of that engagement, because I'm sort of aware of the traffic demand management. I mean, getting the traffic demand down is core critical. It's just kind of like rock in a hard place stuff in terms of the decision to put it down Cranford Street in the very first place. But I wonder whether that could be part of the engagement process, is that you invite the community to submit on the traffic demand management measures or the reduction measures at the same time as looking at the downstream effects, so that people don't think it's either or, because that's kind of what I felt like today was. Well,
look, I may stand corrected. Richard might correct me on this, or Lynette, but my understanding is that the ability to do that is there, and actually it may not have been communicated clearly that that is what we are wanting anyway. And in fact, a number of people have already submitted saying that we need to look at park and ride and HOV.
We can do that when we get to the report.
But my understanding is that yes, that can happen. Yes, that has happened, but maybe it hasn't been made clear enough.
But would your board support that?
I think so. I'm looking at my councillors, but yes, absolutely. Look, anything that is going to make this transparent, easy to follow, and encourage the engagement that we need from the community has got to be good.
Yeah, I do often worry that we make decisions in silos, and that we're not. I mean, I remember there was a consultation recently on something where all of the safety reports, etc., hadn't been made available to the submitters, before they made their submissions. So they were making their submissions in the absence of the information that was being used to support the decision by the hearings panel. So, and I just think we have to get as much information out at the front end as possible.
And one of the ways we're addressing that, if and when the council approves the final plan, within that final plan there will be what we're calling work streams. So just as an example, if clearways, for example, are suggested as an option down one side of Cranford Street, that will be considered a separate work stream. But instead of, and we will consult on those individual work streams, but they won't be consulted on in silos, because that's really important. The clearways have an effect on an HOV, has an effect on a park and ride and so forth. So all of those work streams will be part of the bigger picture, but they will be consulted on individually, but interrelated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, thank you very much, and I appreciate the work that's gone into the presentation as well. So thank you. Who would like to move that we receive the report? Pauline, seconded by Mike. Would you like to second your community board's report? Yep.
Just to clarify, the Edgware beautification project, it wasn't just a rubbish clean-up day. It was actually digging out existing gardens, replanting them, installing new planters and planting those out, purchasing the plants funded by our board, planting those and painting all the rubbish.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was incredible, and the turnout was amazing, and the ongoing maintenance is undertaken by the business owners and the community groups. So it's a really fantastic exemplary model of community engagement. So I just really wanted to reinforce that. It looked like it was a clean-up day, but it was major.
No, it looked,
and it's still looking fantastic.
It looked fantastic, and it looks fantastic. Yeah. Look, thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried.